You're such an asshole.
Hello, children. We have a Clarey test request. If you're wondering, hey, what's a Clarey test request? You can look it up. It is the biggest advance of Zuckerberg. There we go. It is the biggest advance in political science. I would say it is the only advance and probably the most important thing to come out of the field of political science, because political science isn't a real field. And I came up with this idea as the best way to determine whether or not you want someone to run for public office. Now, other people have put in a Clarey test request to have me professionally administer the Clarey test request on various celebrities and politicians and public figures like that. But let me just read the real quick request here. It's not just, hey, do this. Where'd it go? Where did it go? Hi, Aaron. Could you do another Clarey test on Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg and CEO Sheryl Sandberg for the same price of $42? I said, okay. If you combine them together, I give you a little bit of a discount. Normally it's $25 per. All right, let's go with Mark Zuckerberg. So remember, the 4 questions are, and you do not want points on this test. You want 0. You want golf. All right. Do you come for money? If you do, you get a point. Did you major in something stupid? If you do, you get a point. Do you have any real-world working experience? If you don't, you get a point. And what are you currently doing now? If you're currently doing something, you can retire. Like if you put in your 35 years, and you're retired, okay, that's cool. But if you're like sitting on a nonprofit or you're a part-time professor, do you not really? No, then you get a point. So let's go with Mark Zuckerberg. Mark Elliott Zuckerberg, born 1984, American computer programmer, internet entrepreneur. I'm already going to predict probably a 0 for him, unless he came from rich folks. Because I know he's so young, it's not like we don't know his life history, all 24 years of it, or however old he is. Launched Facebook from his Harvard dormitory room in 2004, assisted roommates by a bunch of other guys. Billion users by 2020. All right, we all know who he is. Early life. Born in White Plains, New York. He is the son of Karen, a psychiatrist, and Edward Zuckerberg, a dentist. All right, he comes from money, so he gets a point. His ancestors came from Germany. I don't care. He has 3 sisters. Raised Jewish, became a bar mitzvah. How do you become? I thought a bar mitzvah was a party. Is that a noun? You become a bar mitzvah? He went to exclusive private school. All right, so he comes from wealth. All right, what did he study? Zuckerberg began using computers and writing software in middle school. Okay, he's one of those guys. He's a genius. Atari Basic Programming in the 1990s. And later hired software developer David Newman to tutor him privately. Look at this old man caring about. Dude, how many of you would like to have Zuckerberg's dad? What's his dad's name? Edward, if you're ever watching this, Dr. Zuckerberg. Thank you so much. Go write a book on how to raise your kids. That is awesome what you did for him. Took a graduate course while still in high school, blah, blah, blah. College years. Vargas noted that by the time Zuckerberg began classes at Harvard, he had already achieved a reputation as a programming prodigy. He studied psychology and computer science and belonged to Alpha Epsilon Phi in Kirkland House. All right, he made psychology as a BS degree, but he saves himself majoring in computer science, so he doesn't get a point. What has he done since? Well, like Dell, like Gates, and I think Jobs, didn't he drop out of college too? He's been running Facebook the entire time. Real world working experience? You're darn right. What's he doing now? He's running Facebook right now. Is that real? Yeah, it is. So he gets the best score you possibly can for having something outside of your control, and that's where you're born into wealth. So he gets a score of 1. Very good score. Would I trust him as a politician? Not now. He's too young. And too focused on, specialized, nothing wrong with that. But he's way too, I don't even know if he's 30 yet. I'd like him to study the federal budget before that. He is getting some interesting, I know you guys may not like this comparison, but he's not too unlike Trump. And they did come from wealth, but he is running his own empire. And I would say in due time, Zuckerberg probably would have, well, put it this way, he has way more managerial experience to be a politician than all the Democrats and half the Republicans. Would I try? I still think he's if I had to choose between him and a career politician, yeah, I'd take Zuckerberg. I would. No matter what you might find about his politics, I'm sorry. I'm going to take I'll take a truthful sinner over a lying saint any day. Would I want to meet him? I know this is going to sound odd. Like, I don't know why, but I'm just not that interested in him. There's some. It's not like he's Bill Gates or Steve Jobs or Elon Musk. I don't know. He's maybe not that eccentric. I just, Zuckerberg, like, it's not like, I don't know, he probably doesn't even drink. Is he even old enough to drink? Oh, he is age 33. Okay. God, he's a young-looking guy. Oh, that's right. He started it 10 years ago. Yeah, I would. I'd probably, like, okay, dude, what the hell? What's that like? I don't think it'd be a long conversation. But yeah, I would. I guess who wouldn't want to have a beer with him? But I wouldn't be hinging on his every word, like, say, Rex Tillerson or the old booze, the old gangsters back in the day, in the Prohibition days. Those guys all get 0 points. They get perfect scores. And yeah, I'd love to talk to those guys. All right, Sheryl Sandberg. Something tells me she's not going to have that great of a score. Sheryl Sandberg. Sheryl Sandberg, 69, American technology executive, activist, and author. She is chief operating officer of Facebook and founder of LeanIn.org, also known as the Lean In Foundation. June 29, elected to the board of directors by existing board member, becoming the first woman to serve on Facebook's board. Was vice president. Okay. Before she joined Facebook, she was vice president of global online sales and operations at Google, and was involved in launching Google's philanthropic arm, Google.org. That doesn't count. That's not real world working. If you work, see, you could be in the private sector, but if you work corporate social responsibility, CSR, HR, that doesn't count. Sales, I'm even a little bit reluctant. I'm like, it's like banking, with my degree. I award myself half a point for my degree and for it's kind of like, is that really a job? Is that really a degree? It's like, it's not English. But it ain't engineering either. So, before Google, Sandberg served as chief of staff of the United States Secretary of Treasury Lawrence Summers. Oh, okay, so she's got a public sector background. She's got connections. That's how it was. All right. 2012, named in the Time 100 most influential people. Okay, let's just go to early career and education. Born to a Jewish family. Oh, a lot of Jews here today. Oldest, her father was an ophthalmologist, her mother was a college teacher. Okay, so she comes from wealth. 2, she attended higher. What did she study? She graduated in 91 with a bachelor's degree in economics. All right, so 1987. That's kind of like finance. It's if you were a millennial and you majored in economics, I think I'd award you 3/4 of a point. There's still a little bit of saving grade. Back then, if you majored in economics, it wasn't that bad of a degree. But later on it turned out to be. I would say, so she gets about half a point. So I would do that. That's half a point. If you were a baby boomer majoring in economics, you wouldn't get a point because it was a legitimate degree back then. While at Harvard, she co-founded an organization called Women in Economics and Government. Okay, so right off the bat, see, now I want to give her a full point because it seems to me she had no intention of working hard, but then she goes into the private sector. She met then Professor Larry Summers, who became her mentor and thesis advisor. Summers recruited her to be his research assistant at the World Bank, public sector so far, where she worked for approximately 1 year on health projects in India, dealing with leprosy, AIDS, and blindness. She enrolled in the Harvard Business School in 1995. She earned her MBA with the highest distinction. Okay, MBAs are worthless. I know it's Harvard, so that you get connections. I'm just saying MBAs in general are worthless. About the early career, worked in management consulting, McKinsey and Company. Okay, she's got real-world private sector experience. Began working for Summers, so she worked there what? She worked a year in the private sector. Then she went government. Then she worked Google. There's no doubt that she did some real work. My question is, did she earn it? How many other gals and guys were better economists than her? All right, we got to be honest with it. Okay, she comes from wealth. She has half a point for majoring in a relatively worthless subject at the time. Does she have real world private sector experience? Yes, she does. It doesn't. You don't need a ton. You just need more than Barack Obama, which is more than a year. So she has worked in the real world. She obviously had some help, no doubt about it. And the testing, you could still see her leftist, rah-rah, crusaderist, SJW flavor come through with, she's writing her book and all that. What is she doing now? I think she still is over there. And she is the chief operating officer. Yeah, and that's what she's doing now, so she doesn't get a point for that. That's real work, too. So she gets a 1.5. Would I trust her to run for government? Absolutely the fuck not. No. Already, when you have... This is why you got to look at what the kid's majoring in. Now, I'm 17. I'm going to major in this. And then she's going to start a foundation to help women and tell other people how the world's going to be. Really? They have an agenda. They have this... and not only an agenda, an ego where they don't give a damn whether or not society wants their shit or whether they have the right to sell society. That's one of the main reasons I came up with the Clarey test. Is like, I'm majoring in political science. I want to become a politician. It's like, who the fuck are you? So I'm thinking this gal got sniped or poached unintentionally into the private sector, where she's doing quite well. But had that not come along, World Bank, go work for her government, go work under that, she would have been a career politician. She probably will run for office someday when she gets bored making billions of dollars. When the billions get boring, then she'll go. So no, so in an ironic sense, again, the test is not perfect. She gets a pretty good score coming from wealth again. Not her fault she was born into wealth. And she does have very good working experience, currently working now. I don't trust that gal. Not at all. I don't trust her at all. She would have ulterior motives. She has an agenda, and it's not about advancing society. It's about advancing her crusade, probably feminism and whatever else she advocates in her book. Would I want to have a beer with her? No, I'm highly unimpressed with her. I don't. I don't want to. Don't care. She has all the cushy upbringing. She had every advantage. She's like had no challenge. There's not really. Oh, you got an MBA at Harvard. So what? I mean, like poor, being poverty, coming from the ghetto. Coming from the trailer park, putting yourself through college. She has not had to worry about starvation. And without pain and agony and suffering and starvation and harsh conditions, you're never galvanized. You're not an interesting person, at least to me anyway. If I'm going to waste my precious finite life, I like to meet an interesting person. Like Chaplain Dave or Sergeant Greg or Glorious Carl, all those guys, the Beckloff. I'd rather go climb Angel's Landing with Beckloff any day than have the finest of scotches with Sheryl Sandberg, because it's funny as hell to watch Chris try to make it up the mountain. You're up there, you're laughing, it's just fucking giving you shit, Chris. It was funny though. Like, guys, making it. He's like, come on, Chris, come on. Yeah, I'm just not impressed with her. And I could have told you that, because if you're writing books, lean in. Makes me want to write a book on economics for women. Bachelorette pad economics. Like, here's the real fucking deal. Here's how you make money. Because what's her book? Be born to rich parents like me and have connections, and then like totally get in with your professor and just have everything happen to you. Yay! Step 1, be born to rich parents. Step 2, be pretty. Step 3, profit. That's it. That's all you gotta do. Are you male? Yes, fuck you. Are you an ugly chick? Yes, fuck you. Are you poor? Yes, fuck you. Oh, they're just so noble. That's just so noble. All right, that's it. You guys got questions you want? Clarey test ran on different celebrities and public figures and blah, blah, blah. assholeconsulting.com. And then if you got other questions, we consult there. And get my books. You know what? Here, ladies, you want to actually help yourself? I got a book called Bachelor Pad Economics. It's written for men, but it's not like the laws of economics and finance are different. Matter of fact, you women live an extra couple of years than we do, so you got to save up a little bit more money for retirement. But it's the exact same thing. It's no different. It's just written for guys. But, you lean in. All right, we'll see you guys later. Toodles.